Hello, I'm Antonia and this is Noel, and we are from Boxtail Soup Theatre Company, and we're in our studio for the last time, I think, for a little while actually.
Good point.
I just realised, because this time next week we will be travelling up to Edinburgh. We will have our technical rehearsal in the evening, is that right?
Yes.
On a Monday?
Yeah, I think it's 8 till midnight.
And then we have a day to kind of collect our thoughts before our first performance will then be on the Wednesday. So it's all coming up very soon now. And thankfully, we are ready.
Mm-hmm.
So we've spent this last week doing all the finishing touches, basically, to the set. So as you saw in the previous vlog, we'd finished off all the puppets, costumes and all that sort of thing. And we'd just started on decoration, effectively, haven't we?
Yeah. And as you can see behind us now, everything is. You probably see the paint stuff that had been done before. In fact, some of this has had to be touched up where we've had to add magnets and tweak things a little bit. It's now got the text fabric on as well, and a little bit of other detail, little spritzes of shadow and darkening or lightening here and there. The lamps are all painted up. They've got their text fabric on as well. So everything looks absolutely brilliant. I think I was really pleased when we first put it up all together for the first time this morning. Obviously we had a sense because we'd assembled bits and pieces, but to see it all together like this was great. Not least because I felt like it made me, as I said, it made me just slightly anxious, or slightly in the sense that,
well, you were imagining,
it's a ghost
you were
story
imagining
and
yourself walking into the theatre and seeing the set, and the set kind of making you go, ooh, making you feel a little bit scared already.
Yeah.
What might appear at the door, or what are these weird things on the side that look a little bit strange, and there's lampposts, and it feels slightly shadowy, it feels slightly eerie, which is what we were going for.
Yeah, so which is brilliant.
If it can do that in the studio here, as in with all the wood and everything, then I feel quite hopeful that in a nice black box with some haze and some lights that we should be creating the atmosphere that we want going for.
Can't wait to see it in situ on stage.
So there are the little props and things that we thought we would just show you. We like to keep a consistency of style with everything. So we've got text fabric on literally everything. These will be representing letters in the show. When we first did this show back in 2014, we used blank pieces of paper for anything that was, so letters or manuscripts or anything. And it was a sort of theme that we wanted to keep, but add a little bit more polish to for this version.
It was a bit similar to the books, as we were describing a couple of videos back, in that you still want them to be abstract, because you're not going to make the literal objects, so you're not going to make the prop look exactly like the thing in the real world.
Well, otherwise you'd have a real bookshelf with real books
exactly.
on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not intended to be that, but you want to elevate it a little and bring it out of just, because we did, we looked at the idea of doing the same thing and just having them as blank pieces of paper, but especially when we have got the decoration on other things around us,
they felt then a little bit like we hadn't finished them.
They felt a bit flat, didn't they?
It's very minimal still. So these are manuscripts that Professor Dunning borrows from the library. And as you can see, they've literally just got one tiny little bit front and back, really, on, and they're different colours. So we've got different colours of paper, which correspond to the books that we've put on the back. We've allowed ourselves still to use a couple of the brown paper ones as well, because we think that's fair. We'll turn around one of the bookshelves in a second and show you that. In fact, why don't we do that now?
I was just going to say, you were also quite careful to put that sideways on and very judiciously, because you didn't want it to look like it was supposed to be the text that was written on the paper.
Yes, so that's
given
right.
that it's text fabric, you don't want there to be any confusion there either. You want to
keep actually, I think someone would have to have very good eyesight to be able to read it properly. But nonetheless,
did you want to do that one or that one?
No, this one, because I want to show. We've got a sneaky reveal just for you. I'm going to bring this to the middle so that it can be seen. Just make sure I don't knock a lamp.
Yeah.
It's all has to be very.
Yeah, it gets a little tight in here now because the space in the studio is sort of at a premium now.
So there you can see one of our bookshelves. We are thrilled with them. We've got a nice sense of 3 dimension out of the whole thing. But then this is the little cheeky bit that actually we think probably nobody, well, you'd have to be pretty eagle-eyed to notice. we have a radio in a couple of the scenes of the show. And in fact, the radio is here, behind the books.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a sneaky peek for just you.
I mean, hopefully the people watching will wonder where it's appeared from.
Yes, that's the
because
idea,
it just
isn't it?
suddenly materialises. But they won't necessarily know that, this is where
it's actually
it is.
hiding in the bookshelf.
Sneaking around.
So yeah, that's the books. I'll get them out of the way now.
Mm-hmm. So I think that really is more or less it. You were going to just quickly show them
the couple of more little bits.
the runes and the Buick, the print.
So Dunning gets sent a Buick.
Yeah, it's described in the story as like a woodcut or an etching, isn't it? And we had a previous version of this again that we'd made before, but it wasn't up to quite the same standard.
It was actually, I mean, it was
very
very
neatly
tidy,
done, yeah.
but it was just the paper the way we'd had it printed, it was slightly shiny, only very slightly. But unfortunately, it did mean that when the light caught it, it made it difficult to see. So we've gone for a very, very matte finish this time, which is better.
And they were also a little bit smaller.
And we've made them a bit bigger, yeah.
So given that the size of the venue in Edinburgh, at least, and certainly some of the ones that we'll then go on to when it's touring, you want people to be able to see, even if they're a few rows back. So we blew the image up a little bit more, and just redid them a little bit neater. And
this drawing was done for us by a wonderful illustrator. Elizabeth now lives in Ireland, I think, doesn't she?
I think so.
But you can find her on Instagram.
Yeah,
and she has I think she still has an Etsy store, and I think she has figured out how to ship to the UK now, because of course with Brexit the shipping costs got so huge that she had to stop doing it. But I feel like her line drawings are absolutely, in her prints, they're absolutely stunning. So she's definitely worth looking at, and if you like this kind of style, then I thoroughly recommend going and checking her Instagram out and her store.
This was done especially for us, and therefore it does have a kind of a resemblance.
Little resemblance to Noel. Yeah. I think it's very, very like you, actually. If you
mind your little microphone.
Oh yeah, sorry, my alien. So that's that. And then I made the runes, and as I was drawing out the runes, I was sat in front of the main doors of our studio here with them wide open because it was relatively warm, but it was quite a stormy looking day. And as I was drawing out the runes, this ominous black cloud was coming towards us. We were laughing, weren't we? We would say it's like I was casting the runes on us. But here they are. So we maybe need to do a little close-up of these. I'm not sure how you can see them on there.
Yeah, and again, we had to sort of strike a balance between making them nice and visible and not too simple, because obviously they need to be believable as something this academic has never seen exactly something like this before. So they had to have something a little different about them.
Yes, they're a kind of amalgamation of all sorts of runes from different eras, which is actually what the character says in the show, and with a bit of artistic license on our behalf as well, just to make them look a bit more ornate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fun. But there's our runes, and I'm keeping them in this little envelope so we don't lose them.
And then there's also a few other bits and pieces that we won't show you now because we don't want to spoil the surprises. But there's a few other bits and pieces hidden in the set, a few tricks it can do, a few runes even hidden on the set itself, which get revealed at certain points. So can't wait for people to see it.
Yeah, I kind of can't believe
see what the reaction is as well.
Going next week, it's crazy. It's come around so quickly, as it always does. As always, if you are enjoying the vlogs, please do give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, ask any questions you would like, and subscribe to the channel. That would be lovely. Welcome to anyone who is new, as always. And
as always at the moment, if you have booked a ticket already to come to Casting the Runes at the Edinburgh Festival, thank you so much. The sales are going brilliantly. We're really, really thrilled. And if you haven't booked your ticket, why not do it now? And if you know anyone else who's going to the festival, please send them our way, tell them where we're on. And we would very much appreciate anybody else who comes along to see the show.
And if you can't come to Edinburgh, it's on tour. All the dates are, well, as many as there are out for booking. I think they're all on our website.
Yes, there's more still to come, but I think the dates up till kind of the end of the autumn section of the tour have mostly gone up on the website now.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.